Another Josh cast. At the moment, I'm in a good mood, feeling good. I want to capitalize on this good mood. Don't worry. I will return to my depression shortly. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. But at the moment, feeling okay. Don't worry. Like I said, I will bring it down. I will bring it down. It's a lot of... Oh, that's a bee. There's a bee on the floor. Oh, my. I don't think this bee is doing well. The bee is not flying. And I don't want to kill the bee. I don't want to get stung by the bee either. Well, this is a conundrum because I'm in the office right now. I thought I'm going to record this podcast right now because I was feeling good. And now there's this bee on the floor. And I don't want to kill the bee. Because I keep hearing about how I don't think it's a murder hornet. But I don't know. I think this bee's not doing well. This bee is not flying. It's scurrying. Bees shouldn't be scurrying. I think this bee is saying to be or not to be, and it's moving towards not to be. I don't know what it is today, but oh God. Maybe we're near an earthquake. Maybe that's what's going on. Because this bee is acting weird right now. And then this morning, I was watching a bird, and the bird landed on the ground and was like holding out its feathers and just kind of walking around, like holding out its feathers, looking around, walked around again, held out its feathers, looked around again. Almost, was it looking at the ground going, is it now? Is the big one now? Is this was not my time to buy a condo. I don't think a bird would buy a condo. But maybe it did. Maybe I need to trust my instincts. There was something about that bird that told me that the bird was a homeowner, so I'm going to stick with it. Yes, but I was reading about how they're saying that the chances of an earthquake, because there are a bunch of small quakes, the chances of a big earthquake are much larger right now. And I got to say, the way the universe works, of course, this would be the year that the earthquake hits. Let's just get it all. I don't know. Maybe should we be asking for the earthquake? Let's just get it all over with in 2020 right now. Let's put it all in now, get it all done. And then after that, we have, 50 years of comparative peace. So, okay, I think my plan, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk you through this with this bee. I don't want to kill the bee. I don't want to be that guy that kills the bee. So my plan is I'm going to put on these gloves. This could be a podcast that ends with me getting stung by a bee. And I'm going to take some paper, and I'm going to try to guide the bee outside. And we'll see how that works. Yeah, this bee is not doing well. Okay, now the bee is on the paper. I'm carefully walking. Oh, and I think I'm only making it worse. I am the bronze healthcare plan to this bee at this point. Okay, the bee is now on the paper. I'm walking to the door, and the bee has fallen off. I had to unlock the door. That involved. Now the bee is off again. And now the bee is outside. Okay, good. I've moved the bee outside. I'm throwing away the paper, which I'm going to be honest with you, I could probably have used that paper to print, but I don't like that there's bee jujube on it. I probably could have used that paper to print. I'm being very, very wasteful of the paper right now. I'm going back. I'm looking at the bee. The bee has not moved much. It's moving a little bit, but it's still on the sidewalk, in the center of the sidewalk. So I basically put it right where it's going to get run over. Good. I'm sure the Buddhist monks would be very proud of me moving the bee from one hostile place to probably an even more hostile place. Perfect. Perfect. Poor bee. It is not... Yeah, no one's doing good. The bees aren't doing good. The murder hornets kill the bees. Is there a part of me that's a little... Because I was stung by... Well, it could have been a wasp. I was stung by a wasp, probably. So I could be misdirecting anger towards the bee. But is it wrong that there's a part of me thinking the murder hornet's killing... One thing that stings is killing another thing that stings? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Well, now you know how it feels. Now you understand the fear that we have with you. Bees and murder hornets. A murder hornet. What a name. I know I'm not the first one to cover this, but what a great name. I wonder if other species call us murder humans. I mean, it's appropriate. Like, I doubt the murder hornet knows. Can the murder hornet comprehend that we call it a murder hornet? And you know what? I don't want to underestimate the intelligence of any animal. But I would love to be there on the day where a murder hornet was like, oh, they're calling us murder hornets. And just to see it go, wow. Wait a minute, they're calling us murder hornets? I'm sorry. Did we dump billions of gallons of oil into the ocean? They're calling us murder hornets? We've killed like 2 of them. Murder hornets? Are you kidding me? Look at what they do to each other and to the earth. And they're calling us murder hornets. This is bullshit. You know what? This makes me so mad. I think we should murder more of them. Murder hornets. Why are they riding our ass? Look, we eat bees. I'm sorry. Do they apologize for eating steaks? What can I tell you? I didn't ask to eat bees. If I could eat kale, I would, but I can't. I'm a murder hornet, according to you. I'll tell you who's sometimes even scarier than the murder hornets, the larceny hornets. Whew. Steer clear of them. They will grift you. You'll wish you had been murdered. All right. Now I get to play the game. Is it asthma or COVID? But what else? Okay, here's the other thing. Microsoft, Windows, stop showing me pictures of exotic places that I couldn't even afford to go to before all this insanity. Microsoft wallpapers. Look at these beautiful places. Look at this beautiful secluded grotto in the middle of Jamaica with waterfalls and probably murder hornets. What's this? What am I looking at here? This is a bunch of waterfalls, this beautiful waterfall that Microsoft is showing me in an office. I work in an office. And Microsoft, I think they know that people who buy these things are working in an office or a home office. And so what's on their screen? It's pictures of these beautiful places we can't afford to go to. Are you mocking us, Microsoft? Stop it. You know what makes me feel better, Microsoft? Watching other people suffer. I'm not talking horrible death suffering. I'm talking people who annoy me having a bad day. That's what I love. I don't want to be a murder human here. Just, that guy who was a bit rude to me at the desk 7 years ago. Just if I could see a picture of him right after he just tried and failed to have relations with his girlfriend. He just couldn't. If I can see that post, that disappointment look in both of their faces, that should be the screensaver, Microsoft. That's the screensaver I want. That makes me feel amazing. I don't need to see a picture of the rainforest. Well, you showing me the rainforest and Sean Connery looking for a cure for diseases in the rainforest? I don't need to see that. That is a Medicine Man reference. I'm in a mood today. I am in a mood today. But I'm liking this. I'm liking this vibe. Thoroughly enjoying this vibe. I think this is, it's kind of a direct quote from Doctor Who. He was so excited in one of his last regenerations that he regenerated as a Scotsman because he said, I can complain about things. And I feel similar because I'm starting to get a lot more gray hair. And I feel like, I've earned the right to complain about things. I look older. Have I accomplished enough? Have I built enough as a human being to be able to earn the right to judge others? No! But I look like I might have. If someone doesn't know me. I'm also excited because I always have been an 80-year-old man, even when I was 2 years old. I've always been an 80-year-old man. I'm moving closer to looking like what I truly am on the inside. 80-year-old man. Everything is too loud. Everything is too loud. THX never helped me. It's the sound is in THX. I don't need it to be. If the movie is good and I can hear it enough, I'm fine. It's in surround sound, Dolby. You can actually hear the dimples on Harrison Ford. I don't care. I don't need to do that. I don't need to hear that. How's the writing? How's the acting? That's all I care about. I don't need to hear the wisps of the wind in the scene when Galadriel is delivering the sword. I'm pretty sure that was a Lord of the Rings reference. I can't remember. The movie trilogy is what, 10 hours? 12? 13 hours? We were all at Thanksgiving. We watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. By the time we were done, we're still not done. Somehow, in a parallel dimension, we're still watching that thing. All right. It's about 13 minutes. I should go on for an hour. I don't want to scream the whole way through. I don't want to be the screaming guy. My whole thing can't be screaming. It can't be screaming. I can't always be screaming. I don't want to always screaming. I'm annoyed with people who always scream. That's not true. That's not true. There are some people who always scream. I love the way they always scream. Other people are always screaming. They're too much. I'm going to check on the bee. All right. I'm not seeing the bee. Maybe the bee figured it out. Or the bee was run over. One of the two. Or am I seeing the bee? Is that the bee? That could be the bee. That might be the bee. Well, I did what I could. Or that's just a spot on the road. I'm not sure. I don't want to scream. I'm not going to spend the rest of the time screaming. I'm not interested in that. Let's get delicate now. I can complain quietly. I'm good at that. I'm fine with that. Snacks in the office, they're okay. My boss is trying to bring in healthier snacks for me. She's bringing in the granola bars, the chewy granola bars. I'm not sure these are any healthier than a Milky Way bar. I'm really not sure. The granola bar... Has the granola bar really solved is it really at the perfect balance between health and good taste? Tastes good? I don't think, no. The granola bar is something I eat where I'm like, well, it's not a candy bar, but I guess it'll do. And at the same time, it's something I'll eat where I'll go, well, it's not a really, really healthy, pure source of fiber, but it'll do. It's the middle. It is the very middle. It's the bottom of the bell curve. That's what the granola bar is. And I feel, here's what's so screwed up about me. I feel tremendous guilt in complaining about granola bars. Why? Because in the back of my mind, what if somebody is listening to this who makes granola bars? And they're like, I just want to laugh. So I'm going to find a podcast recorded by a Jew that has 4 listeners just to get my mind off of the monotony and the hell that is working at a granola bar factory. The granola bar is not quite healthy enough to be truly healthy, not quite rich and creamy and chocolatey enough to be a dessert. Where does the granola bar live? It's the suburbs of food. Not the sexy city life, not the wholesome farm life. The granola bar is the Arvada, Colorado of food choices. And now I'm going to get letters from people who are like, don't you talk about Arvada, Colorado that way. Sir, don't you talk about Arvada, Colorado that way. Come over here, sir. Come over here. Look at those. You see those condominiums? They're things of beauty. I grew up in a condo. Although my mother told me that technically it was a townhouse, which I'm debating which of the two names is really worse. The townhouse. What a depressing name. Live in a house? No, it's a townhouse. Oh, what does that mean? Not quite, didn't quite make it. That's what that means. Townhouse. It's a house in town. It's designed to be, it's a smaller unit that you go to when you're working in town. When you have to be in town, you go to the townhouse. Then, on the weekend, you go to your country house, which is a much larger house, but it's in the country, versus the townhouse, where you go and it has a 1-car garage instead of a 2-car garage. And you go there because you're spending, your week working at the office where Windows is showing you pictures of places like Sri Lanka that you'll never go to. And all you're doing is you're wishing that you could spend the whole week in your country house, and then you spend the weekend in the country house, and really 90% of that is dreading having to go back to the townhouse and having to go back to the job with the picture of Sri Lanka. And then if you're not careful, one day you're going to be ending up pacing in that office, trying to save a dying bee, while at the same time recording a podcast that has maybe 4 listeners, maybe 0, maybe 0. Okay, I feel good about this. We're at 18 minutes. I try to do 20 minutes, or around 20 minutes. I'm feeling good. I'm glad I did this. I'm happy about this.